Hello and welcome to my world of crochet. My name is Dina and today I'm here with you for another yarn talk video. And as always, when we do talk yarn and catch up, I cannot do it without my faithful mug of tea here, which today is a green tea with a flavor of orange and mandarin. So it's just this nice fresh tea, which is actually quite perfect for today because it's a little bit breezy, quite temperature, around 20-ish degrees, but it is sunny. So it's just this nice fresh mood. And yeah, plenty of things has happened. And as you know, I haven't really been around because I've been away basically. And it was a great amount of days. And I was in Belgium. Where I was a part of an event where I was basically a co-host, and therefore I wouldn't really have had the time to do much crocheting. I did bring, actually I did bring 2 projects with me, depending on if I would have time. And I ended up just having time in the car, driving there and driving back. My partner was driving and I had the time to do a little bit of crocheting. But let's get into that later because I can tell you what project I had brought with me. Another update before we start on crocheting is that some of you guys know that I had applied for a new job, which was a new position within the company that I'm currently working for. And I wouldn't say good or bad news. The sad news is that it's not necessarily sad news, but the news are that this position has currently been put on hold. This means that they're not proceeding with the interviews or finalizing any positions due to the fact that our company is about to likely be acquired by a different company, and therefore they do not know if any organizational structures will be changed and if the position will still be available once that merger or acquisition has gone through. So I guess, you know, it's not something I can influence, and it's just how it is. The good thing is they now have my CV. They now know I'm interested in such positions. And I know also that I can actually handle that type of job because I did complete the assessment and I wasn't told anything was wrong with the assessment as such. I do know that I had a single mistake in it, but the fact of knowing is more important. And they told me during the interview that they were more interested in knowing how I as a person think and apply the logic. And I think I did that very well. And my feeling was with the interview in general was it was a really, really good interview. And I wouldn't say I would have gotten the job, but I think I was definitely in the running up of getting it, should the position still be available. But yeah, unfortunately, it's been put on hold due to the circumstances that we are being acquired by a bigger whale in the market, so to say. So that's it. That means that I'm still doing my normal job. I still keep my normal job. And so far, it's not of any influence on me as a person. It's just going to be business as usual when I go to work every morning. Today, I did, though, take the day off work due to having been gone the whole weekend and just having to catch up on everything. And, you know, it's just everything gets stressed out. And I already had a few things I had to do this morning, which is why this yarn talk video is a little bit later than I had first anticipated, but we already knew it was going to be delayed due to the fact that I wasn't home yesterday and it was Pentecost. I do though hope that you really enjoyed my first-hand impression of the book that I put up yesterday. So it's these top-down crochet patterns by what's her name again? Dora Ornstein. Regardless, let's get into the updates of my yarn projects since a last yarn talk video. So you all know that, at least if you're watching my videos regularly, and if you haven't, like, hit that subscribe button so you get notified also with the bell and all that stuff so you can keep following me. I do enjoy sharing my progress with you guys. But the Leaf and Weave vest, I reached to actually finish so far that I made the goal I had set for last week, which was progressing far enough to be ready to start decreasing For this V shape, you can see I already have a V-shaped shirt on today, but to start this V-shape pattern of the front panels, and it's just still the first front panel that I'm working on. I also took the freedom to actually weave in my ends, so right now I have no loose ends on that single front panel. So the front panel here, as you can see, still seems long enough, but I am now ready to create this V-shaped form on this panel that will be sewn together with a back panel, which I have here. Let's see if I can get it up. This would be the back panel. And if you compare this to me, of course, you can see it is an oversized vest, and the intent of the design is also that it is oversized. And you know, it's with the fact that it's oversized is also it's a really nice drapey pattern, and I really enjoy this this stitch, which is, I wouldn't call it a stitch as such. It's basically filet crochet. Or filet design, and as you can see, it's basically only double crochets and single and chain stitches, not single crochets but chains. So it's all of this, the only stitches I've been using, with the exception of the foundation chain. I don't even use slip stitches. It's all just chain stitches or double crochets, all of it. There's nothing else. And of course, I have a pattern that I'm following, which is a nice print that helps me. So the next goal, but I'm not sure, because since we have a day less until the next yarn talk video, because I do plan posting my usual yarn talk videos on Monday, so there should be a new one out on Monday. But the goal is basically to now narrow it down so I have the first panel done. If I can make that for the next yarn talk, that will be absolutely amazing. So that's the current goal, to finish up this panel. And have that done for the next yarn talk video. So I have the first like 2/4 done on the whole vest. That would be cool if I managed to do that. For this vest, I am using my 3mm, and I'm actually using my prim hook for this. You might have noticed that I do really enjoy using prim hooks for most of my work. And I have started on the third skein of this lovely hobby solid twister yarn, which is 55% cotton and 45% acrylic. It's really like, it's this nice soft feel it has. It's a colorway 107, which is, I do believe it's called teal or turquoise or something like that. It's 100 grams for these cakes, and for those 100 grams you get 400 meters of yarn. And they recommend a 3.5 to 4mm crochet hooks. I'm using the 3.5mm for this project. This pattern was designed with this specific type of yarn, so it's just straight ahead. It's a 2-weight fine yarn, can be washed at 40 degrees. You can iron it, but it is lay flat to dry. So once you do wash it, remember to lay flat to dry. But yeah, so I'm really pleased with how the progress is going on the Leaf on Me vest, especially considering the fact that I left like last week Thursday, so from Thursday until like yesterday evening I barely had time to crochet, with exception for in the car. I really, like, every day we were like so worn out that when we were coming back to the hotel from the event, we were just like crashing in our beds. It was like, yeah, we were pretty used. But I also managed last week to proceed on my baby blanket, and I also had a bit time this morning to crochet a bit further because I had a meeting this morning I had to attend, and I mainly had to attend and say a few things. I didn't have to be facially present, so I actually did crochet a bit in the background. And I have done, let's see, because I decided, especially for this, it's easier if you have this marker to keep track of where you are. This marker is in the previous round of what I'm currently in. So I was still working on the shell stitches, and this would be the start of the round. And so far I've completed basically a full round of shell stitches with this negative, so from here all the way around of shell stitches, and then here I started making the V stitches and the 5 single crochets and the new V stitch, etc. And I am almost done with that round. I only need half a round or so to go. So this is where I am right now. And I just, as the meeting ended, finished this corner V stitch. And the corner V stitch is basically a double crochet, a single, not single crochet, so a double crochet, chain stitch, double crochet, 3 chains, a double crochet, chain, and then a double crochet. That's the corner V stitches. And that's how you can get to crochet the shell corners here. So I do believe this is progressing nicely. As again, you know, it does take time now to see the actual increase of these blankets. I have also progressed enough to be able to weave in the end of the start of my new skein. But yeah, basically because each round increases, it just takes longer before you can see the actual increase of the whole project. But it is increasing and it is progressing, and I think it's nice. And I really enjoy the feel of this blanket, and I think it will be an absolutely gorgeous baby blanket for a baby here out in the future. I am using this ice yarn for the project. I'm using my 4.5mm perm crochet hook, which I did debate a couple of times. I should probably have used a 5 or maybe even a 5.5mm, but at least maybe a 5. But that said, looking at this and looking at the stitches, they might be a little bit more tight and dense. They still feel like they don't feel compact as such. So it's still okay, and it's not like it's getting unaligned. Regardless, I will still need to block this whole piece because it's just, you know, a piece like this it's just gonna be nicer when it's blocked in the end. And the goal size wise, I still aim for at least a meter, probably more in diameter. So sidewise with length and height, they should be about the same because it is a what are they called? A rectangular. There was rectangular shape. So I do that's a goal, basically getting it about a meter size and both diagonals, maybe a bit more, maybe 1.20 meters, I don't know. We will see how much the yarn lasts. So far the current goal is just to finish up this skein and see how far we got. I'm gonna measure it up by then and see if it's time to add the few rows of pink that I wanted to add before adding the end finishing or the end border. It can also be that I continue to make sure it has the size I want, and then I will just add those extra rows as I believe I want on top. That's a benefit of baby blankets and blankets in general. You don't have to adhere to a specific size when you design blanket and when you make blankets, you know, like you can just go with the flow. And that's what I really, that's the enjoyable part of this, of course. Just keep going with the flow. It's wonderful. Next to that, I also have this pouch / bag that I'm working on, where I bought some fabric that I showed you in the last, which I showed you in the video Friday when I was visiting physical stores. I also showed it to you. I'm not sure if I showed it in the last yarn talk video, but I know I did it like at least the first yarn talk video I had after I had actually been to the stores. I don't have the fabric right here. It's laying upstairs somewhere in my stash, but it's going to be the inner lining of this pouch. As you can see, I am partially way through a row here, and it is a very, very wonderful stitch that I'm working this pouch in. It could also be like a clutch, actually. We talked about this with some of you guys that's avidly following me here, and maybe indeed it's just gonna be a clutch. I don't know. Originally, my intention was to use it to store my perm crochet hooks, but I think I might make a different one for that one. I am still quite pleased with how this is progressing, and it's an alternating stitch that creates this very, very wonderful textured stitch. And it's basically, so here it's actually maybe even easy to explain. Let's see, what did I use last? Last I made just a single crochet up here, which means that to proceed, I will have to make a long single crochet. And normally you would then say, okay, you working up here in the single crochets and the stitches, but for the long single crochet, you go down and take the previous stitch. So and then I keep alternating. So I basically do single crochet, double single crochet, single crochet, double single crochet, all the way around. But also my stitch count is uneven, which means that I can keep alternating as I go around. I don't need to like turn the work, turn the work, turn the work. I just keep going around and around and around, alternating stitches. So right now it's just mass production work of crochet stitches. It's made in 100% cotton. It's a nice feel, and as you can see, it's also a pretty dense stitch. You do get the feeling of air going through, but you know, it's not like you can't get a big visibility of what's going through here. And yeah, that's basically how it's looking right now. The cotton yarn I'm using for this is the Mayflower, and I am holding 2 strands together, as you might have seen here. This is what I currently have left on these 2 skeins. And those skeins start by looking like this. So this is the Junior Mayflower cotton yarn, which is a 4.8 thickness. 4.8, 6.8, not 4, yeah, 4.8, 6.8, and 8.8. They are standard ply thicknesses that's used in Denmark or maybe also in Nordic countries, indicating how thick the cotton is. Basically, it takes 2 4/8s to create an 8/8. And the 6/8 is exactly in between them. So I could theoretically have taken an 8/8 and made the same. But the design here is the 2 strands held together. And that's what I followed. And of course, as always, I do link to any patterns that I'm using, which are publicly available in the description box down below. This is the colorway Jeans Blue, and it's the number 1421, and each skein are 50 grams with 170 meters of yarn. The lovely thing is, of course, it's 100% cotton, and also the lining is 100% cotton. I will need to hand sew that lining once I'm done and insert the zipper. I have a zipper that is going to go in. And yeah, basically the goal is to work it up and finish it up. And I might add a pocket or a side, something, I don't know. I haven't decided yet for the lining. It's still designed to come, to happen, whatever you want to call it, yeah. But the progress haven't been much since last time, simply because I've been busy and some of the other projects has gotten more of my time. But I still have this, I need to get this goal back on. I'm just getting at least the crochet part done, so I just have the sewing left. The 2 yarns here I'm holding together are, and the crochet project itself, I'm crocheting with my 4mm prim hook. Then we have just 1 project left to get an update on, and that's my leaf pattern or leafy patterned shawl. And the leafy pattern shawl is progressing nicely though, and that's also actually, so I brought the pouch bag, clutch, what should we call it, with me to Belgium in the car, but I also brought the shawl, this leafy shawl. I ended up only crocheting on the shawl, and I got pretty far on the way there, and then on the way back I found a mistake, so I had to flop 1.5 rows to fix that. But fixed, here we are back working. So that's the only reason I haven't gotten a little bit further, because I had to flop, because I really am not good with mistakes. So currently, I need to unravel a bit here. So currently, this is the size we have for this leafy designed project. Actually, it's now, I need to get a bit further back for you to see the hole. I just need to get a bit more yarn so I don't drop it on the floor. This is where we are. We have here the tip, basically. And we're slowly getting where we are going to see a lighter color on the yarn or on the cake. You can see here the cake, it is hiding this lighter color underneath. And when I'm showing it you here from this side, you can also see we are getting really close to going into the lighter color. This cake is a cotton cake from Stanley Yarns. And this cotton cake, I do believe that they recommend a 2 to 3 millimeter crochet hook to crochet with it, and it's 100% cotton. I do believe it's 250 grams and 1,000 meters. I will have to find the label to find the exact specs, but that's what I recall it is. So yeah, I bought it from Stanley Yarns, and I think it's perfect for the project I have here, and it's going from this dark blue, not dark blue, going from this green into this minty green, which will be the outer edges of the shawl once it's done. So I am of course curious to see how far this cake will bring me and how big of a shawl I will make. I really don't know yet because it's the first time I actually even work with this Stanley yarn. So far it's proven nice to work with. It's 100% soft cotton. And I am using my 3 millimeter crochet hook for this, which would be this fella. And it's going okay. Maybe I could have used a hook a bit smaller, but I didn't do that. I just decided let's do the 3 millimeters and see where we go. And I do think looking at this, the 3 millimeter is actually just fine. It could probably have been 2.75 or 2.5. But much smaller, I'm not sure it would be a good result. But yeah, it's progressing nicely. And of course, I am planning on making a tutorial for this pattern because it's a pattern that I was inspired by from Pinterest, and it's a pattern that was on Pinterest used for a pillow or a pillow cover. And I do believe that it would work very nicely as a shawl as well. So that's why that I'm doing it, and it works out absolutely nicely with a 3-row repeat. So it will be also quite simple to turn into a pattern for a tutorial. So that's what I want to do. And I showed you the yarn that I'm going to use for that in last videos, or in last week's yarn talk video. That's what I was wanting to say. But yeah, I placed that yarn upstairs in my storage, and I will find and start working on that tutorial once I have a bit more free time, or probably once I've done more as well on this shawl. It's a future for the summer, so I hope to have that tutorial released sometime this summer. At least that's the goal I'm setting right now. I do believe it's going to be absolutely gorgeous, and I hope that you will enjoy that tutorial once I release it. Then I'm trying to remember if there are more things. We should talk a little bit about scheduling. This week has been a little bit odd, but nothing more out of the ordinary. That, of course, I am going to draw the winner of my current running giveaway, which will be on Thursday. So right now I have a running giveaway, and that's a giveaway where you can win some of the very lovely, super soft premium acrylic yarns from Ice. That's their Happy Baby line, which is a variegated yarn. And then you can also win a Stanley cake. It is though an acrylic cake, but it is their baby muffin. It's also quite soft, I would say, acrylic for a cake, and it's a lovely giveaway. So I encourage you, if you haven't entered in that one yet and would like some of these yarns, to enter for your chance to win. And of course, I will link to that giveaway video here in the description box down below. On Friday, we have, let me see, on Friday, yes, we of course have a yarn haul video. And that yarn haul video is going to be a yarn haul from a German yarn store called Wolle 1000. So it's just a yarn store selling yarns, and I have a bunch of cakes to show you guys on Friday that I bought from this yarn store. I can really not wait to show you. I bought some of their own brands, but I also brought some yarn art merino and yarn art alpaca cakes. I have plans and ideas for these. Some of them will definitely go and become ponchos out in the future. But regardless, go check that video out when I do post it on Friday. And it's, as always, when I usually post my yarn talk videos, or not yarn talk videos, sorry, my yarn haul videos. They go out around 8:30 Central European time. So that's on Friday. Then of course we are back to the following week, where we will be back with a new yarn talk video on Monday, and I am looking forward to see you in our next video, or in my next video to you guys. As always, it was a pleasure sharing my yarn adventures with you, and if you haven't done it yet, do please subscribe. Hit the like button if you like yarn content and yarn talks and all that stuff, so that I know that I have your support. Thank you for watching this video in full, and take care, stay safe, and happy crocheting, happy knitting, happy crafting. And until I see you my next time, my yarny friends, take care. Bye.